Hello, I am Verulian, and this is a tutorial on how to install mods for Hollow Knight. So the first thing you want to do is get to the Hollow Knight Discord, and here I am. I will link link a link to the Discord in the description. So once you're there, go to the modding channel, and then click on pinned messages, and this message should be at the top. So jump over to there and open the link to the Google Drive folder, which should have all of the mods on it. So there are two different classes or categories of mod. The first kind is an API mod, which uses the modding API, which you can see down here, and the second is a non-API mod. The most notable examples of this are the mods made by 753. Most popular one is probably Lightbringer, so if you're installing that, it will not use the API, but I will demonstrate both of these installation methods. As you can see here, I've downloaded the zips for Lightbringer, a non-API mod, Randomizer, an API mod, and the modding API itself. So I will just copy these and then go to the Hollow Knight Steam directory. So you can see Steam apps common Hollow Knight, and here it is. So then go into Hollow Knight data, into managed, and I will make a new folder and title it mods, and go in there and paste all the zips. Alright, that's taking a while. And then once you've done that, you can go and extract all of these. Alright, so now that you have all these extracted, I will show how to install an API mod such as Randomizer or Boss Rush or Hell mod first. So the first thing you need to do is install the modding API itself. So go in here and now choose whichever version you're playing on and extract that one. So I'm playing 1.2.2.1 on Windows, so I'll do that. There's a README for more information, and that's commonly found on any of these mod downloads. So just go here, and as you can see, this actually has a mods folder which is completely empty, and that is designed to create this mods folder if you paste all of this stuff in. But since you've already made a new folder and titled it mods, you don't need to worry about that. So just select these two assembly files and copy them. Go back here, and I like to create a new folder in managed called API and paste those two files there. And now, as you can see, this assembly C# will actually replace this one, the vanilla one. So what I also like to do is create a folder called vanilla, and paste the vanilla assembly. And now the assembly is actually basically the code behind the game, and so obviously you're going to need to modify that if you're installing mods. So I just like to back up this assembly in there and then copy these two files over. And so now, once you've done that, the API is actually installed already. But the API doesn't change anything about the game in terms of gameplay. It just creates a bunch of hooks that make it easier to make mods on top of the API itself. So now that you've installed it, it doesn't really matter. You can delete that folder since you've already got all the relevant files of the API in this folder. And now I will install this mod, the Randomizer mod. So let's just extract this, open the folder. You've got a README, but as you can see, there's this folder called Randomizer. And if you open it, you can see there are textures, there are sprites for the mod itself. So what you want to do with this folder is copy the folder itself and then go all the way back to the Hollow Knight folder where the executable for the game itself is located, and copy that randomizer folder with the sprites right there. And then go all the way back to managed mods, randomizer, and then you can go to Hollow Knight data, managed mods, and there is the DLL that makes use of the API hooks and whatnot to actually randomize the game. So go to the mods folder, paste that in, and delete randomizer. So now, at this point, with randomizer mod in the mods folder, with the randomizer sprites next to the executable, and with the assembly, of the API assembly file here, you have successfully installed Randomizer mod. So if I open Hollow Knight now, you will be able to see that indeed Randomizer is installed. Just wait for this to load for a little while, and then you can see that yes, indeed, if this will actually load, there is Randomizer at the bottom right, there is the XML version, whatever, in the top left, and if you click to create a new game, there is this option to select randomization, so it is indeed installed. I'll just close out of that now, and to uninstall the Randomizer mod, and indeed to uninstall any API mod. In fact, if you look here, you can actually install multiple API mods at the same time. If you go into the drive and click on compatibilities.txt, there's this list of all of these API mods that will work well in combination with each other. So if you install multiple mods, and for example, maybe you have 5 API mods in here and you want to only uninstall 3 of them, well, a very easy way to do that is to create a new folder inside the mods folder called disabled mods. And if you drag a DLL file in here, then it'll be uninstalled because the API looks inside the mods folder itself for mod DLLs, and it never looks inside this folder called disabled mods. So whenever a DLL is in there, it is effectively uninstalled. Now, if you actually want to uninstall the API itself, you just take the vanilla assembly and paste over the API assembly, and now it's completely back to the original base game. So that is how you install an API mod. Now to install Lightbringer, which is a non-API mod, again, you look for the version of the game you're playing on and extract that one. I'm playing on Steam, and there's another README. And now, as you can see, there are a bunch of assets files. And so I will get a new file manager, file explorer window open here. And as you can see, these assets files are here for Lightbringer, and these actually replace some files in the Hollow Knight data folder, as you can see on the right. So I'll scroll down and you see all these assets files, and these are what Lightbringer will replace here. So again, I want to back up the vanilla files. Now, lancesfx.resource is a new file introduced by Lightbringer itself, so I don't need to back that up because it doesn't exist yet. But I will need to back up shared assets 01 resources.assets, and then scroll down to shared assets 33 and 41. And so I'll copy these vanilla assets files and then go into managed, and I'll just copy paste these inside the vanilla folder with all the rest of the backups. And now at this point, it's safe to copy these Lightbringer assets files and replace the vanilla ones. Now, these .assets files are basically bundles of sprites and audio files and texture files, or text files and audio files for the game. So basically, since Lightbringer resprites some stuff, it changes some of these .assets files. But then if you click in here into the manage, you can see there's an assembly file. So you want to click to managed here as well, and basically I will create a new folder called Lightbringer, and within it I'll copy this Lightbringer assembly, and I might as well copy the Lightbringer textures as well. And so to complete the installation of Lightbringer, just copy this Lightbringer assembly and replace the vanilla assembly with it. So now if I open Hollow Knight once again, you can see there's 753 up here, Lightbringer mod. So indeed, Lightbringer has been installed. Now I'll close out of that. And now to uninstall Lightbringer, you want to take the vanilla assembly, which is all the code of the game, and replace the Lightbringer one. And now you need to remember to replace the Lightbringer assets files with the vanilla ones, or else you're just going to be playing on the normal game with Lightbringer resprited sprites, which will be kind of weird. So once you've reverted both the assembly.dll and the assets files, if you open Hollow Knight one more time, you can see the Team Cherry logo and Team Cherry pop up instead of 753 and Lightbringer mod. So it is indeed back to normal. And that's pretty much it when it comes to installing mods. So, I've been Verulian, and I will see you next time.